Water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. I am Ajwa Tinkramado. Now coming up, former Chief of Staff Prosper Bani appointed as National Security Advisor to the President as John Dramani Mahama announces key security appointment. Meanwhile, the President is expected to meet the Asante Hinotunfo said to the second on Sunday over ongoing security concerns in Boko and Walewale.
Nanado gave me a hint that Otunfo has been playing some role, and so I'm supposed to be with Otunfo on the 19th of this month. So when I go, it's one of the issues I'll discuss with him.
Also coming up, Chamber of Petroleum Consumers COPEC urges fuel consumers against panic buying amid rising fears of a looming fuel shortage.
Do not panic buy at this point. If you have enough that could take you to work and back, try to manage that.
Still in the bulletin, National Democratic Congress in Ashanti region challenges parliamentary results for 3 constituencies in court. We'll bring you details of that, and later, Minority in Parliament calls on former government appointees to boycott any invitation by the Operation Recover or Loot team over the constitutionality of the setup.
And we're invited by this so-called ORA. Our advice to you from the minority is to boycott any invitation the ORA team.
Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. Remember, the news is live across the globe on citinewsroom.com. Around the country, we're also live on a number of affiliate stations. If you're in the Western region, tune into Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, all in Takrady. In the Bunu region, find us on J Life 95.5 FM in Sunyai. In the Shanti region, you can tune in to Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, Global 105.1 FM in Ho, Adanu 107.7 FM in Adakluwaya. In the Northern region, Diamond 93.7 FM in Tamale. In Upper West, Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. If you are in the Upper East region, tune in to Source 100.1 FM in Boko. And in the Northeast region, this is Scarp 101.3 FM in Nangpanduri. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful for your company this afternoon. Let's begin with some appointments that have been made, and the Office of the President has directed the recall. Apologies for that. And now the Office of the President has announced key appointments in the national security sector. In a statement dated January 15 and signed by Acting Presidential Spokesperson Felix Kwachiofosu, the President named former Chief of Staff Prosper Douglas Bani as the National Security Advisor, DCOP Abdul Osman Razak as the National Security Coordinator, COP Nathan Kofi Boache retired as the Director of Operations at the Presidency, and Charles Kipo as the Director General of the National Intelligence Bureau. Now, these appointments aim to enhance the nation's security framework. We have more details on the appointment and subsequent ones on our website if you tune in to citinewsroom.com. But let's still stay with the Office of the President, because the office has directed the recall of all diplomatic and service passports issued under the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo-led administration. A letter addressed to the Chief Director of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and signed by Secretary to the President Callistus Mahama says the recall aligns with the government's commitment to ensuring the proper use and administration of official travel documents in compliance with national and international standards. Now, the President set January 24 deadline for all holders of such passports to submit them to the Foreign Affairs Ministry. The ministry's Chief Director has also been been directed to ensure that a thorough review will be conducted on all return passports to ensure they align with the current eligibility criteria for issuance. We'll go back to the office of the president and the efforts they are making on the Boko and the Wale Wale crisis now. But for now, let's bring you this story about the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, OMC, which is blaming the looming fuel crisis on the Gold for Oil initiative. The initiative, introduced by the previous NPP government, allowed the government to pay for imported oil products through a barter arrangement using gold purchased by the Bank of Ghana. Now, according to the OMC's bulk distribution companies, halted fuel imports at the peak of the policy supply. However, the decline in supply has led to a shortage of products. The OMC's further noted that multiple warnings to the government about this potential shortage were ignored, resulting in the current predicament.
When the Gold for Oil started, it peaked, and when it peaked, we, the petroleum economics, or let me say experts, we saw this coming. Anytime you are drawing a graph and there's a peak, what happens? There's a fall, and we warned the government by telling listen. And when the supply was cut to an extent, and when Central refinery also ceased to produce, or let's say process, or let me say refine crude oil products, we anticipated the loss. Today, the fuel shortage you find in the market lightly in a way, it has to do with the PMS. Okay, BDCs ceased to import because there was good for oil.
So that's the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, Dr. Rivers Inopon. Meanwhile, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, has also linked the looming fuel shortage to a supply imbalance, noting that importers received more diesel than petrol. Here's Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amwa.
A lot of cargo came to the market, which is diesel, and so your supply imbalance would mean that you would not have as much PMS or petrol on the market. That is why a lot of the stations now will tell you they don't have petrol but can afford to sell diesel to you. Some of the stations are equally being forced now to even sell the special products at regular prices at places that they do not have the regular petroleum or petrol PMS product.
Right.
So the situation, like I indicated, exists as of today. But between now and the next week, Wednesday, we expect the situation to normalize as some cargoes have already come in for petrol and should be on the market from Monday.
Meanwhile, COPEC is assuring that the situation is expected to normalize by next week and is urging consumers to avoid panic buying.
Do not panic buy at this point. If you have enough that could take you to work and back, try to manage that. If you get some anywhere, you should also be able to buy and go about your normal job. But there's enough cargo now. I'm sure that by Monday, most of the stations would have gotten supplies. So we are certain that latest Wednesday next week, the shortage situation should be far from us and we should be back to normal.
So you heard that the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, Duncan Amwa. Let's bring you some other stories. And now President John Dramani Mahama is set to meet the Asante-Hene Otumfuo II on Sunday, January 19 to deliberate on the escalating tensions in Boko and Wale Wale. Now, during a visit to the Nairi Palace, the President informed the King and Overlord of the Mamprugu Kingdom about his upcoming engagement with the Asante-Hene, expressing grave concern over the ongoing chieftaincy disputes in the Upper East and Northern regions. President Mahama highlighted the violence that has claimed lives and destroyed properties. He appealed for peace in the affected areas, noting that Otumfuo II's guidance has been instrumental in resolving past conflicts. Now, he also expressed optimism that the upcoming meeting would contribute to fostering lasting peace in the regions.
I'm in the process of forming my government, and so we're still appointing the ministers. They will come and help me to run the administration. So I'm just appealing to my father that they should exercise patience while I set up the government. And so as soon as that is done, we might have to invite my father. But I cannot sit in Accra and invite him. I have to come and alert him in advance that an invitation like that will come. In my last briefing with Nana Akufo-Addo before he left office, he briefed me about some mediation efforts that they were undertaking. I wish to be able to discuss it with him and see how we can continue that effort. I know that he and the late Yegbonra and Otunfo were the ones who solved the Dagon problem. Nanado gave me a hint that Otunfo has been playing some role. And so I'm supposed to be with Otunfo on the 19th of this month. So when I go, it's one of the issues I'll discuss with him. And whatever comes out of it, I will inform my father.
You heard President John Dramani Mahama. Let's move on to Parliament now. The Minority Caucus has accused the chairman of the Appointments Committee, Bernard Ahiafo, of partisanship and shielding ministerial nominees of President John Dramani Mahama from thorough scrutiny. Now, the minority alleges that the chairman deliberately failed to provide members with the nominees' CVs ahead of the vetting process, denying them the opportunity for constructive questioning. They further claim that he restricted questions related to the nominee CVs, thereby limiting effective oversight. Addressing the media on behalf of the caucus, the Member of Parliament for Tano North, Gideon Bwako, criticized the chairman for rushing the nominees through the vetting process and intimidating committee members.
Deliberate refusal to provide the CVs of the nominees to committee members in advance, and the refusal to invite questions on the CVs were all calculated attempts to obstruct constructive and effective scrutiny of the nominees. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the Appointments Committee was the first real obstacle to a diligent vetting of the ministerial nominees. He denied the Ghanaian people and the minority members of the committee the opportunity to conduct a thorough vetting of the nominees, protective of the nominees, and extremely partisan. Members of the committee were shouted at by the chairman. You all witnessed how the member for Etiwa East, the Honorable Abuna Osei Asari, was shouted at in an attempt to protect the nominees. The chairman denied legitimate members of the committee the opportunity to ask relevant questions and railroaded the nominees through the process.
So that's Dr. Gideon Bwako. He's Member of Parliament for Tano North. Meanwhile, the caucus has also called on former government appointees to boycott invitations from the Operation Recover or Loot Oral Committee, describing the committee's actions as unconstitutional. Led by the Member of Parliament for Swami John Darko, the group justified the acquisition of state lands by former appointees, insisting that such acquisitions were done through legitimate and lawful means.
A former government official, and we're invited by this so-called aura. Our advice to you from the minority is to boycott any invitation from the aura team. We are not going to be part of it because we believe that there are constitutionally established bodies that can investigate any so-called misdeeds of the government. What are they doing? What they are doing is to go about disturbing people, entering homes, taking vehicles, seizing vehicles, and more or less taking over lands from people who have genuinely purchased lands. What the former government officials have done is to acquire properties that legally they were acquired. No illegality has taken place. In any case, the NBC members have also acquired lands in this country. The executives, they live in the cantonments, they live in airports.
That's Member of Parliament for Swami John Darko. Now, 2 persons were assaulted by an angry mob at Ashalaja after being caught with a dead body. Reports indicate that 2 brothers, Fofo Agbomeya and Kwame Agbomeya, allegedly exhumed the body of a 10-year-old James Ajoyeme from a cemetery in Adewukwa, a community in Bojase. Now, they were intercepted by Okada riders around 1 a.m. today following a tip-off leading to the assault by the mob. The timely intervention of the Denchua police saved the suspects from being lynched. Currently in police custody, the 2 suspects have been sent to the Bojase Polyclinic for medical treatment due to the severity of their injuries, and the case is being handled by the Ewutu Bojase Police Command. You're still listening to the Citi Prime continues. When we return, National Democratic Congress in Ashanti region challenges parliamentary results for 3 constituencies in court. Please stay for details of this and other stories coming up shortly.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
It's time to reset yourself and everything around you for success in the new year. Tune in to the Effective Living Series 2025 this January on Channel 1 TV and Citi FM. Start your year with insightful discussions and expert tips on personal growth, health, success, and more. It's time to reset yourself and everything around you for success in the new year. Tune in to the Effective Living Series 2025 this January on Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM. Start your year with insightful discussions and expert tips on personal growth, health, success, and more. From the 6th of January, join Apioko and Caleb Kuda as they engage our guests with various expertise on the Effective Living Series for a comprehensive guide to resetting your life in 2025. Week 1 kicks off with Personal Reset. Week 2 focuses on resetting your personal economy. Week 3 is all about resetting your health. Week 4, resetting business. Calibrate, remodel, and rebuild. Catch the Effective Living Series live on the Citi Breakfast Show on 97.3 Citi FM at 9 a.m. and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV at 9:20 a.m. Monday through Thursday. Don't miss out on transforming your life for the better every week only on Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM. The Effective Living Series 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by Hallmark Cafe. Hallmark Cafe. Delight in every sip and bite. Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Welcome back to the bulletin. Let's take you to the Ashanti region now, where the National Democratic Congress in that region has filed a High Court application in Kumasi contesting the parliamentary election results in 3 constituencies. Now, the NDC claims its candidates rightfully won the Ahafo Southwest, Obuasi East and Ahafo North, despite a recount of the results and subsequent swearing in of the new Patriotic Party members of parliament for these areas. Now, the party argues that the declarations of the NPP candidates are unlawful and is seeking a court order to overturn them. Evan Samankwa is counsel for the NDC in the region. Well, now we'll bring you that inset, but let's get to Hafiz Tijani, Middle Belt Bureau Chief, for more on this. Hafiz, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Now, we understand that the party has filed these cases, but give us a brief background of why we are here today.
So even before the recollection of these results, the NDC has always maintained that its candidates in the Obuasi East, the Ahafo North, and the Ahafo Southwest in the parliamentary elections, in the 2024 elections, won these elections, and that they were declared winners of the area. So in the case of the Obuasi East, the NDC is saying that the candidate was declared winner. The NDC candidate was declared winner of that parliamentary election by the returning officer of the Electoral Commission. And in the case of the TEPA, that is the Ahafo North constituency, there were some distractions of the ballot materials, especially with the pink sheet, but they had their results intact, and that the Ashanti Regional Electoral Commission officers did not declare the presidential results because of the nature of the disturbances in that area, and they are not so happy about the Electoral Commission's decision to recollate the results and go ahead or going ahead to declare the parliamentary candidate for the MPP as winner of that election. And in the case of the Ahafo Southwest constituency, the NDC also maintains that there were some military officers who came in to distract the process, and it led to the disturbances in that constituency, resulting into injuries and the death of one person, and that the election was not declared, and the NDC had done its internal collation, and its candidate won in that parliamentary election, only for the EC to go ahead and do the recollation and declare the MPP's candidate as winner of that election. So they are in court to challenge these results, despite the Electoral Commission going ahead to do the recollation and also Parliament swearing in the members of Parliament for the NDC candidate in these areas, in these constituencies. So the NDC is saying that it's not perturbed with how far the process has gone. They believe in the justice system and they want justice for the people of these constituencies, and they maintain that they are going to ensure that they pursue justice and they get justice.
Now, Hafiz, have we heard from the NPP or the Electoral Commission in this matter?
Well, so this is just the first part of the exercise or the proceedings. The NDC has filed the case. The case will be recalled on Monday, that is on the 20th, and the court, we are told, will serve the parties involved in this case so they can proceed from there.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. You heard the Middle Belt Bureau Chief Hafiz Tijani speaking to us on the cases that have been filed in court by the National Democratic Congress in the Ashanti region. Let's now hear for the counsel for the NDC in that region, Evans Amankwa, who led the regional executives and candidates to file the application.
As I indicated to the media on the 6th of January 2025, that is this year, we file a petition in respect of the three constituencies in Ashanti region. That is Obuasi East, Ahafo North, and Ahafo Southwest. The parliamentary elections that are in contention. But unfortunately, the EC has allowed our opponents to be in parliament. That is very unfortunate. The petition has been filed on the 6th of January 2025, as I indicated. And per the rules of the High Court, when you file an election petition, you have to file motion ex parte for security for costs. And that is what we came to court to do, because the court had to set an amount of money that's supposed to be paid before the petition can proceed. So today, gracefully, the three petitions in their various courts has granted our motion for the security for cost, and the cost has been pledged at 40,000 each of the petition, and we've been asked to pay that money, which we're going to fulfill that condition by the court. We're going to do that.
Evans Amankwa is counsel for the National Democratic Congress in the Ashanti region, who stay in the region as residents of Kumasi have expressed optimism about the appointment of Dr. Frank Amwakohene as the Ashanti Regional Minister Designate. Now, Dr. Amwakohene, who currently serves as the Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NDC, is seen by many as youthful and dynamic leader, capable of addressing the region's pressing challenges, particularly in infrastructure and youth development. Now, residents have commended President John Dramani Mahama for the choice, expressing confidence that Dr. Amwakohene's understanding of the region's needs will lead to significant improvements. Now, they are also hopeful that his tenure will bring about much needed transformation in the Ashanti region.
I think that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama believes in him. There are a lot of people in Ashanti region who belongs to the NDC. Our past ambassadors are here, our past executives are here. but he sees Dr. Amoako to be a younger person who works, who understands the youth, who inspires the youth, who can work assiduously for the good people of Ashanti region.
The Olo Referral Center is Konfanochi. So, meanwhile, there are other hospitals hanging by the name of politics, like the military one and the one at the Atonsi. Yeah, the only referral center is Konfanochi. The second one, that should be our regional hospital, Atonsu, which is also not working. So I know when even as a young guy, when he comes, he can help us to some of these things to help us.
There were so many things that they have promised us that they would come and do. Talking about sanitation, talking about the economy, youth employment. So I think as he has been inaugurated the office, I think we are expecting more. Moreover, the NPP government also came to do, but.
So you heard some residents of the Ashanti region expressing their opinions on the appointment of a new Ashanti regional minister designate, Dr. Frank Amoako. We move on to some other stories now. The West African Gas Pipeline Company Limited, WAPCO, has rescheduled its offshore pipeline cleaning and inspection exercise to February 3. Initially planned for January 20, the exercise will temporarily suspend reverse gas flow from Ghana's western region to Tema and lead to the shutdown of key facilities in Tema, Lomé and Cotonou. Now, in a statement, WAPCO explained that during the shutdown, subsea valves at strategic locations will be replaced to improve operational safety. The company expresses commitment to minimizing disruption while ensuring the long-term reliability of the pipeline. Meanwhile, Edward Bauer, a member of the technical committee established by the Chief of Staff to address the power crisis, says the extension gives the government more time to plan.
What it does is that it gives us the opportunity to plan better. We needed 2 weeks to treat the product. And if they were starting on January 20th, what it meant was that even though His Excellency the President has ensured that money is made available, the challenge we were going to have was the fact that we didn't have time on our side. What they have done is to give us more time to be able to prepare. So it lessens our challenges with regards to time. And that is what is good news. Because as I told you the last time, they had indicated that they were still talking to their vendors. Now there's a formal communication that suggests that they are moving to February. So it gives us some time to still be able to prepare ourselves to provide the alternative liquid fuels for the generating plants.
You heard Edward Bauer. He's a member of the technical committee established by the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, to address the power situation in the country. We bring you some other stories now. Swedish coach is set to lead Ghana's Black Stars to 2025 Women's AFCON after Ghana Football Association confirmed his appointment as the head coach. Now he replaces Nora Haptel, who departed the role after failing to reach an agreement on a new contract in late 2024. We have more in this report.
The Ghana Football Association confirmed the appointment of Swedish coach Kim Lars Bjorkegren as the head coach of Ghana's senior women's national team, the Black Queens, on Tuesday, January 14. Bjorkegren replaces Nora Hutler, who left the role after her contract with the GFA expired, subsequently joining Zambia's Copper Queens. A UEFA licensed A coach, Bjorkegren brings a wealth of experience and a track record of success. He guided Apollon Ladies to win the Cyprus Women's League and led Linköping FC to the Damallsvenskan title in Sweden. In the 2020-21 season, he was named Coach of the Season in Cyprus. Remarkably, Bjorkegren shares the joint record with Sven Goran Eriksson as the second Swedish manager to win domestic titles in 2 different countries. His career highlights also include serving as a scout and analyst for the Finland women's national team, coaching Beijing GB Phoenix in the Chinese Women's Super League, where he secured 3rd place in both the FA Cup and the Super Cup in 2018, and also working as a technical director for Manila Digger FC in the Philippines. Bjorkegren is the second expatriate coach appointed by the GFA following Hutler's departure. His immediate challenge will be to lead the Black Queens past the group stage of the Women's AFCON, a feat Ghana last failed to achieve in the 2018 edition.
You heard there a report filed by my colleague on the Citi Sports desk, Gabby Ofe, and in today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adaraka, Accra. Please log on to citynewsroom.com for more stories. My name is Ajua Tinkrama Domina. Have a good afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.